Hi guys, Mr. Polley here. So today we're going to be reading this book called Arctic or Antarctic. Now it's written by John Lockyer. Now I can see it's a photo on the front cover and also the title Arctic or Antarctic. This leads me to think that maybe this isn't a storybook. Actually, it's a non-fiction book, and if you remember, that means that it's a book with facts rather than a story or a made-up thing. So here we can see, it's got a contents page as well. Usually non-fiction books will have contents to tell you which different topics you can find and then on which pages you can find them. So for example, if I wanted to find out about the Inuit, now we go to page 14. Okay, interesting. Is there an index as well? Oh, there's not, but there's a glossary. Now a glossary is a list of the important terms or words that we can find in the book, and then a very quick definition for each one. So just like you'd find in a dictionary. So look, we can see blizzard means a heavy snowstorm with strong wind. So if we didn't know that, we could come to the glossary and find the correct words. Now I can also see that it's in alphabetical order as well. Now what that means is it will go in order of A, B, C. So that we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. So you can see this is a glossary in alphabetical order. Anyway, so let's start reading, shall we? The Arctic and the Antarctic both have ice, mountains, blizzards, and wild oceans. They are the two coldest places on Earth, but they are different from one another. The Arctic is at the top of the world, and the Antarctic, which is called Antarctica, is at the bottom of the world. The North Pole is at the middle of the Arctic, and the South Pole is at the middle of the Antarctic. The Arctic is an ocean covered with ice and surrounded by land. Antarctica is land that is covered with ice and surrounded by oceans. When it is winter in the Arctic, it is summer in Antarctica. Arctic summer. Both places have long freezing winters when the sun doesn't shine at all, but in summer the sun shines all day and all night. The sunlight is so bright that people must wear sunglasses even at midnight. Icebergs. Icebergs are large blocks of ice that float in the sea. They are made from fresh water because they come from frozen rivers called glaciers. The biggest part of an iceberg is under the water. They are different sizes and different shapes. Sometimes they are called ice islands because they can be as big as enormous buildings. From the Arctic, some icebergs float away to the south, where they can become a danger to ships. Antarctica has huge icebergs that look like big square blocks. There are also older, rounded icebergs that have turned over in the water. So here we can see a boat, a huge iceberg in the background. Arctic foxes, wolves and hare have white fur that matches the snow in winter. In summer, when the ice melts, their fur turns brown like the land. Large herds of reindeer, which are also called caribou, live in the Arctic too. Arctic foxes are super cute. Polar bears live only in the Arctic, along the shores and on the sea ice. They hunt for seals by waiting for them to come up at holes in the ice. They are fast runners and good swimmers. Their thick white fur has hollow hairs that trap warm air close to the polar bear's body. Their huge paws are furry and rough to stop them slipping on the ice and snow. Emperor penguins live only in Antarctica, where they live on the ice and feed on fish in the sea. Their thick waterproof feathers help to keep them warm. For extra warmth, they huddle together to keep out of the cold air. Antarctica is much colder than the Arctic. The only animals that can survive there are seabirds, seals, whales, and tiny insects called midges. Midges are awful, they're like mosquitoes, but smaller. The Inuit people live in the Arctic. They wear long parkas, gloves, and boots to keep out the cold. They live in modern houses on stilts, but they still build igloos when they're away on hunting trips. Here's an igloo. The only people who live in Antarctica are scientists who study the weather, the animals, and the ocean. Not many scientists stay in Antarctica for more than a year. The Arctic and Antarctica are ice deserts, but they are wild and beautiful places. There is nowhere else like them on Earth. Huh. Well, that was very interesting, wasn't it? Now, I wonder if any of you ever thought about visiting the Arctic or the Antarctic when you're older. It certainly would be cool if you became a scientist and then went away to study polar bears or something. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the book, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.